Plenty going on in this game early tonight, no doubt about it. It was on from the opening bounce. Goods was able to goal and get it going. McGlynn came in, the intensity was enormous. The tackle pressure, the crunches, the bumps, the little injuries here and there. Swans by 27 at quarter time. Hawthorn got going in the second quarter. They did really well, kicking 4 goals to 2. Segler got involved there. Rioli was just brilliant and has been all night. His tackle pressure got Hawthorn back into the game. Sydney by 13 at half-time. And then the third quarter, contentious decision there to play on. A goal by Reid picked up his second, and an opportunity here for Rioli as well. And Rioli all night has been superb. He got the Hawthorn supporters out of their seats. Hawthorn hit the front in that third quarter and lead by 4 points, as you can see, 8-11-59 to 8-7-55.
Exclusive to Presto, May 29.
Hawthorn by 4 points here at three-quarter time. Cameron Ling downstairs. I believe there's been a sub.
There has been a sub. There's been a double sub. The two running machines are into the game. Billy Hartung for the Hawks, Harry Cunningham for Sydney. It's David Hale who is off for Hawthorn, and it's Gary Rowan for the Swans. Looked a little bit sore in that third quarter. I think precautionary. Don't want to test that hammy out too much. The matchup that we've focused on all night tonight, Ben McGlynn and Sam Mitchell, well and truly swung in Hawthorn's favour in that third quarter. Sam Mitchell, 13 possessions in that quarter. Huge influence on the game. McGlynn's got to get back on the job.
Had to get on the run there, Lingy. He's nearly out there for a centre bounce. Buddy Franklin, Richo, just 5 possessions. Can he find something in the last quarter?
Yeah, I think he can. He's a match winner. He has been for a long time, and he would want, his pride would will him to do something in this last quarter. For all, he's been great.
It's been an extraordinary contest for 3 quarters. Rioli went to ground. Reece Shaw just tried to shovel it forward. Gibson committed his body. There's the sub. Cunningham wanting to get involved.
They've got him deep now too, Buddy. He was the deepest forward there, 10 metres out.
Who wins it, Richo?
Oh, look, I think you've got to stick with Hawthorn. They've found their way in front now.
What about you, Lingy?
I think Hawthorn from here as well, BT.
8 goals to 3 since quarter time. To ask you in the Hawthorn camp?
I think just, but wouldn't surprise me the other way.
Little one here from Hill to Brust. Around one, thought about another, went back to Hill, found a little bit of space for him. He caressed one in the show and make a action. Rioli went again. It was a gymnastic-style approach there from Cyril. And he said, how did I miss that? Cyril, the degree of difficulty was high.
Oh, there he goes again, just springs, just launches out of the ground.
Explosive. Smith with an iffy little handball backwards to Rampy. Rampy didn't get it far enough out as Hartung, the sub for Hawthorn, finds the boundary.
So there's Buddy. He is now the deepest forward. Earlier in the game, he was getting right down in his defensive 50 there around the stoppage. Johnny Longmire now has said, no, you stay back as the deepest forward. Try and kick us a couple of goals in this last quarter.
Lewis went third man up and double palmed it out the back to Roughhead. If he gets a bounce, it could be a goal. Great effort from Rampy. Soccer off the ground from Shoalmakers made. Good connection. He couldn't get it online. Shoalmakers played most of his career as a defender, now permanent forward in the last couple of weeks. Tell you what's great about Rioli. You forget last year the hamstring injuries were so severe. There's a lot of fear that maybe he'd never get back to his best or his athletic best, but tell you what, tonight it has been something for the ages.
Yeah, whatever they've done with him, they look like they're getting him through beautifully this year. I wonder whether they'll rest him at any stage. There's often, I think they've said it's been load that's got him in the end. Here's Kennedy.
So that they would have liked to have kept going quickly then, the Swans, but they haven't. They've been held up, and this is why it's been tough for Franklin and Tippett down there tonight.
Been no quick balling.
Well, there just hasn't been really swift transition since the first quarter. And as a forward, you need quick play through the middle of the ground. You need handball receives and play-ons so that you're one out and you've got some space to lead into.
Pike and Segler. Segler just. Hawthorn numbers everywhere, or it appears that way. Hill just parallels one with the boundary line to try and keep it alive. Gained a little bit of territory. Both coaches pondering what can they do to get their team over the line. Pike. Hartung first to arrive. Wide to Schoenmakers. Grundy did well to edge him under the footy. Didn't give Nick Smith a lot of room to work in, but he did well, Smith, to bring it back in the Pike direction. There's Hartung again. Kept his balance over the footy, didn't go to the ground, got it out nicely. Lewis with a little up and under ball, high enough for Cyril to go again. He was being held, so he's a worry in the air as well. Rioli to Hill. Hill takes off. Didn't hit the handball to Hartung as he'd wished.
Throw it, you stay there.
Nick Smith with the roll on Cyril Rioli at the moment, former schoolmates in the first 18 at Scotch College. They've played a fair bit of footy with and against each other, and it'll be a pretty crucial match-up here in the last quarter. Pike good enough to get it in the Hanbury direction. He's had a huge night tonight. There's Hartung, the sub. Good tackle applied on Hanbury.
I think a few of the Hawthorn boys do a little bit of work down at Scotch College with the first 18 down there. It's a bit of an association. I could have made that up. I think I heard it though.
Mitchell and Mitchell head to head. Tom Mitchell and Sam Mitchell. Nice confidence in your.
Yeah, be confident
in your own work there, Richard.
I'm just not positive on it. I might have the wrong school.
You might have just got your schools mixed up. It is Xavier College. Luke Hodge and Jordan Lewis do a bit of work there, but
I knew it was one of those schools.
Wingy just coming in, the boy out of Geelong Grammar, just telling you a thing or two there.
I knew it was one of the schools where you wear the fancy jackets and stuff.
There's one of the men involved, Hill, out of bounds, and so it'll be a Mitchell free.
You are right in one aspect. Raiden Tallis, the former Hawk, coaches the Scotch First 18, Mitchell, so
that was it.
Mitchell backwards to Smith. Rioli guarding the mark so he can't switch to this northern side of the ground. Illegal shepherd on Grundy. Let's have a listen. Oh, right. It wasn't paid a free kick in the end. So I'm not sure why he stopped the game.
I think he just gave Grundy a warning. Either pay a free kick or don't. And I'm glad he didn't pay a free kick because that would have been ridiculous.
There's no need to stop the game, though. That was a fair, good quality shepherd to allow his teammate to play on.
Well, I wasn't sure whether I was onto it or not. It also allowed the Hawks to set up with a bit of extra time. So
It didn't let the Swans get a bit of play on and transition happening.
there's Rampy at half-back. Umpire's told him to move it on, so he goes down the line with a high footy. Good mark taken by Parker, immediately through the middle. Hanbury had Kennedy if he wanted. Went the short kick, finds Goods. Has he got it in the legs here? Goods. Chipping ball. Nice footy. Drop the mark, Jack. Handball over the top of the Buddy. Hasn't got one tonight. They've got him. They've wrapped him up. They've got him peddling backwards, Buddy. Ball up, says the umpire.
I reckon the kick that went to Goods there out on 50 needed to go to Franklin as they wrap him up in a big tackle. That was a rare occasion. They could have got it to the top of the square to Buddy.
Well, he got donuts in his locker the other week because he hadn't kicked the goal, even though he's been playing well. Hasn't got one tonight yet, Das.
It's the quietest night I think I can ever remember Buddy Franklin playing it, to be honest. He had 5 possessions, no goals. Has he got something special, Buddy? Wouldn't put it beyond his capabilities. He's around the contest at the moment, suckling, and I don't think that footy will come out.
Hold the ball. Stop on the football.
Wow, that felt harsh. I have to feel as though that hasn't been in the context the way it's been umpired, although Lloyd technically did jump on it, so a free kick in the way of the Hawks. Suckling will drive it out of defensive 50. Lewis. Flicked out by Bruce, back to Roughhead. Look at the speed of Roughhead. To Hill, he's going to take Hanbury on with leg speed. Takes a bounce, looks up, nothing he likes forward. Had to go back. It's clever play. Really smart, composed, brilliant football from Bradley Hill. So Jack Gunston, the beneficiary. Opportunity for him. Have a look at this, Richo. He looked up and it was Rampy loose and just really smart play.
Yeah, that's fantastic composure. He does that really well, Brad Hill.
Jack Gunston had a career-high 58 goals in 2014. Can he get the distance? Did it just touched on the line?
One of our best goal umpires there, umpire Chris Appleton. one of the most experienced, but the kick back into play, I don't think it's been marked. That was on the hop. Gunston wanted to get it to Lewis. Lewis cracks in. Little handball out wide. Here's an opportunity for Langford. Round the corner. 2-on-1 here. Hawks fly.
Let him go.
Smith.
Thank you. Stay clear, Heath. Run me. Thank you.
Poor kick in. And that's not such a great kick either. Stratton could have grabbed it, elected the double fister there. Tip it in front, muscled out of the way. Bruce picked it up. Closing him down was Jeddah with an inspirational goal-saving tackle.
And that might be a little spark the Swans need at the moment. You feel like the Hawks are winning the 50-50 contest, but a run down from behind from Jeddah. Can it get them going again? Here's Lloyd. They've got a bit of space for the first time in a while. Great effort. He's a genius, Parker. There is nothing this man can't do.
This is the challenge. This kick here, they've only had 6 marks in 50 all night.
Just through the fingertips of Kieran Jack. Wow, they might go coast to coast the other way. Billy Hawthorn gets moving. Out to Showmakers. Clever ball inside. Bradley Hill will want to play on. Cunningham gives chase. Rioli at the back. He'll take a hanger. Rioli can do it. He can do anything, the little champ. What a goal. What a grab. No one else in the game can do it, Richo. He's just so good to watch. You get out of your chair every time he's near the footy.
And unfortunately for Teddy Richards, you just knew it was going to happen. He had to come back.
This kick here, though, guys, that was the crucial one. Just that bit too high for Kieran Jack. Couldn't take the mark. John Longmire knew it, and the counter-attack by Hawthorn. And well called, Das. We love it when that man's in full flight. Cyril Rioli, the mark over Richards, the play on. He loves it. The Hawks fans love it. He has been up and about tonight.
That is just picture perfect. Cyril in full flight. Hawks by 2 goals. Langford with a mini clearance to go with that. Here's Burgoyne, signed a new deal just last week, playing game 277 tonight. Awarded AFL Life membership of 300 games when you include them all during the week. Congratulations to Sean Burgoyne. And now Langford tidied up here by Kennedy. Segler went and got it. Opportunity to go forward here. Inside 50 again. Mark taken by Smith. Wanted to peel off to Grundy. Got to be brave here now, Sydney.
Got to play on. Got to get it into the middle and just play on, take risks. A long way to go, but it's not a high-scoring game.
It's not the time to risk all, though, Richo, is it?
Still
calculated risks.
But they've only taken 6 marks inside 50 all night. Tippett and Franklin haven't taken a mark inside 50.
Here's McVeigh.
And for them to have any involvement in the last 10 minutes and give them a chance to win, they've got to get some quick movement forward of centre.
Swans kicked the first 6 goals of this game, and since that point in time, it's been 9 goals to 2 Hawthorn's way. It's just extremely good recovery.
Just such good defence by the Hawks. They just haven't been able to get it on quickly to give these forwards a chance.
Jack goes in, Buddy caught behind and stretching in front as Roughhead. So they've doubled and tripled when they've had to, Hawthorn here. Everyone prepared to leave their man to help out against the taller targets for Sydney. Gibson told to go. Wrong-footed himself now, Mitchell. He can go either way. It's the problem with him. You never know whether he's going left or right. Grundy sets Jeddah an opportunity through the middle of the ground. Here he goes, the running machine. This time it's a quick ball inside 50, but without great direction. A lot of Hawthorn players around the prune here. Hanbury to McVeigh. McVeigh to an open goal square. Does it spin right? It does. Never count Sydney out. Back within a goal.
So we'll have another look at that. Great pick-up by Hanbury. That's a great kick. In dewy conditions, the ball will always go straight on, or wet conditions, and that's what happened.
Another twist, another turn in this game. There's a lot to play out yet. More than 10 minutes remaining in it. Parker.
All been locked in.
A head of steam up, couldn't get it out.
Come back this way, fellas.
Feels like it's a bigger margin, but it's a one mistake from Hawthorn and the game's all tied up.
We know what momentum's shown around Billy Hawthorn, an aerobic athlete of the highest quality. Alongside him, Bradley Hill, who's not bad either. That's a clever kick round the body. And here comes Gunston. Roughhead wants it short. Rioli's the man at the moment. I'd be kicking it too. He's got the goal square open, so he's going to pop it in that direction. Where's Cyril? Can he launch? Segler, front and centre, picked up by Showmakers. He gets dumped in a...
Took him on.
Double Swans tackle and wasn't able to get free.
Gee, I reckon he had a chance then. I thought he took him. Have a look at this, the pick up from Hill. Have a look at that.
It's got a handle on it.
Dynamite.
It's picked up the handle on the ball.
Yep. Absolutely uncanny. Ball up here. 25 metres out from Hawthorn's punt road goal mouth. Lewis, the third man up, so often he is. Laidler out the back, Parker. Puopolo try and bust and brute his way out of there. Laidler to Shaw, under Gunston pressure. Wanted the boundary, didn't quite get it, was careful. Now Shields, high footy. Won't count as a mark. The umpire's called play on here. In goes Jack. Fast hands Hanbury. Lightning stuff. Little ball comes to McVeigh. Kick the last goal for Sydney. Parker, a little ball. Finds Franklin half back.
A few Bronxies maybe for Buddy, and the Hawks fans letting him know he hasn't had an impact at all tonight. Swans now. This is a dangerous ball. Hawthorn came through. Went back. Big play, Billy Hawthorn. Committed his body and came up with a really important contested footy. He's going to get it moving now, Billy. He's got a short one on. And it's that man against Cyril. He likes the lead from Gunston. Gunston was able to outstretch his arms, Richo. And that is perfect delivery.
It is. And Rioli again, he's on fire tonight. Everything he does, something is happening. And Gunston, he's just got great reach.
Once again, Richo, as you see that graphic there for Jack Gunston, Rioli just 16 touches. You compare him with Mitchell with 32, and they've both had great games.
Cyril's a little bit quiet in the third, but he's been pretty good.
Gunston, wow. Jams it into the post.
Not quite as reliable as he normally is tonight. Rioli's 16 is a good 16, isn't it?
Well, it's certainly equal to the 30 that a lot of the good midfielders get. 3 posters tonight, too, from the Hawks. Ball in neutral territory here on the wing, right in front of the interchange area. You can see there Bruce coming back on, getting some final instructions from Damien Monkhurst, one of the bench operators for Hawthorn out there, former 1990 premiership player.
One of the greats, Mark. Yeah, it's a bad miss from Gunston, though, BT. It's a crucial stage of the game. Goals hard to come by. We might revisit that.
Have a look at that. They've called that play on. That's the ducking the head there, they're saying with Birchall. So keep going, said the umpire. Good call, we like it.
Well, the Swans, only a kick in it. They've got to start winning around the stoppages. They're getting smashed, plus 14 to Hawthorn. And that's why they've only had 33 inside 50s. They're rarely getting first crack at it.
40 to 26, Richo, and the clearances getting smashed all right. Shields up towards half forward. Laidler. Into the Calder Cannons footy factory there. Rampy, beautiful, chiselling, risky ball into Hanbury. Made it look easy. Hanbury says, come at me. Goes wide, looking for Kennedy. Kennedy won't be paid that mark. The umpire rightly calls play on. Got second grab at it. Goods rubs his hands together. Gets them nice and warm. And that's why cuddles the footy, plays on. One-on-one. McVeigh and Suckling. McVeigh's marked. A chance to kick consecutive goals for him and Sydney, and to draw within a point.
Well, Adam Goods cometh the man. Have a look at this. That ball had ice on it when it came down. It went that high.
He rubbed the hands together. He had so long. Here's McVeigh. He goals. 2 in a row from Sydney. They're back within a point.
Well, they're right there, and if they can win out of the middle here, they've got Franklin deep. He hasn't had a chance to do much all night, but he could be the match winner still with one big play.
Oh, don't go anywhere. We've got something special coming up in the next 6 3/4 minutes. Fresh air swing from Segler it was. Hanbury came tumbling through. Isaac Smith couldn't pick it up. Really nice pick up, though, by Jake Lloyd. Goods, he took a great mark before. Was he pushed underneath it? No. Mark paid to Gibbo. Kicks it in the Gunston direction. Good effort. Laidler did really well. Came across and Took a nice defensive mark.
Well, if you reckon you've seen intensity already in this game, stand by. It's about to rise another 20% as Hanbury farms out the handball wide. Sydney going forward yet again. Goods was the target. Goes over the line. And Birchall sore in the left ankle.
Well, he was right in the middle of that pack there, that high ball.
He's just behind the play here, about a kick away. Let's see what happens here. Lands awkwardly.
Oh, yeah.
On that ankle. In the meantime, boundary throw-in takes place. Kennedy went and got it. We'll need to get rid of it. Smartly done with the foot there as well. And we'll have another ball up here.
He's still hobbling badly, Birchall. He might have to come off. You can just see there, he's just not happy at all.
No. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look like he's going to recover from that one. There's only 6 minutes remaining in the game. Umpire lets it rep. Segler, little knockdown, crashing in. Well done by Lloyd. Here's Grundy, taken forward by Gunston.
Birchall probably wants to get off the ground right now. The medical staff want him off the ground, but the fact the ball is where it is, he can't. So he's just dropped himself back behind the ball a little bit.
Third man up was Parker. Hartung's going to be first to arrive. He ducked the head. Umpire correctly called play on. Langford's clearing kick. Will bounce, and there he is, Birchall, saying, you've got to get me off.
He wants Suckling to get back because he can't defend in that nick that he's in at the moment. Suckling's free in the middle of the ground. You can see right at the bottom, right-hand side.
Sorry, Richo. Now's possibly a chance, and they do. They go and get Grant Birchall now while Ryan Schoenmakers comes off under the blood rules. So they get that little bit of a reprieve to make the change they've been wanting to make.
It's going to have to be quickly done, though, because he's a good 40 metres behind here, Birchall. And crowd tonight, Das, I hate to say, but 63,319.
It's almost clairvoyant.
What did you say, Brian?
Said 63,000 to Brazil.
I said 63 to 64.
I can't let this go on any longer.
There's something strange happening.
I'm going to expose you, Brian.
He's within 300.
You can't get it right every week.
He does.
I didn't get it right. I got it wrong.
It's a gift. Mitchell, clever little knock on back to Isaac Smith. He stands up in the tackle.
So got a loose player back at each end now. Gibson for Hawthorn. And I think it's Nick Smith down there for Sydney. No, it's not. It's Rampy.
We mentioned the Hawks have dominated the clearances, and again they won that one and surged it forward 20 metres.
It's going to be tough to get through for either team now. There's Rampy.
Guys, just quickly, Cyril Rioli's a little bit of an issue on the Hawthorn bench as well. Just jogging up and down. He's got a bit of strapping on his left calf and shin. So I don't know what the incident was, but a bit sore and not happy on the bench.
Lewis drives him inside 50. Roughhead working Grundy over. He did really well. Defensively, Grundy out now to Nick Smith. Under some pressure from Shields. Great pick up from the big man, Segler. Centering kick is going to go straight down the throat of Lewis Jetta.
He plays on, handball over the top. They're out here. Opportunity for Rampy. Wrong-footed he was, and in the end he had to try and kick it from an awkward angle on his left, and Suckling likes to kick the ball low, far too low on that occasion. Reece Short trying to sell some hand candy. Oh, what a ripping kick to McLean on the lead. He wanted to go. Gibson did well to corral. He's got McVeigh on. He comes at the footy. Stratton falls over. McVeigh goes into the open. An opportunity for Parker. Sydney are back in front by 5 points. Sydney lead with 4.5 minutes remaining. Have a look at this. Parker looks behind, realises he's got a little bit of time. Look at the crowd going nah-nahs, Das.
63,319 in the house, and we are seeing one of the great home and away games. Can they fight back again here? Bruce did really well to Burgoyne, threw it out to Hill. Hill tried to knock it back in the Lewis direction. He lost his feet. Hill tried to run Hanbury down. Gibson and Buddy comes through now. Look at the big bud. Hasn't had a touch, but all of a sudden he's got the full head of steam up. And the Swans just in the box seat at the moment.
They are, Jack. Time ticking down to just under 4 minutes. Jack goes long. You can't save it on the clock from here. You've got to keep attacking. Sydney are doing that at the moment. Lake commits at the ground level. A clever little knock on there. I think it was Stratton. Now picked up by Hartung. Hawthorn looked to go forward again. Diving attempt at mark by Grundy. Won't be paid. Gunston did well to try and keep it alive. Sydney players arrive from everywhere. En masse. Have a look at the arms and legs involved there.
Back it in, Sydney.
And a free to Sydney.
Make sure. Thank you. Stay clear, guys. Stay clear.
Sam Reed's free in the middle. Rioli's come up.
And Reed's just turned his back and decided he wanted to take a bit of time off the clock. I'm with you, Bristol. Too early to be doing that. Tippett came through. Billy Hartung stood tall. Look at Horse Longmire. He knows there's too much time to be winding the clock down. Here's Hill. He'll be too quick for Tippett. Handball almost intercepted by Buddy. Here comes Hartung. They give chase. Franklin Hartung's kick intercepted by Shaw. He'll give it to Jetta. Lewis gives chase. Concedes back to Rampy.
Good shepherd by Jetta too there.
And the kick from Rampy was nice too to McGlynn.
The wee man McGlynn realises he's got to keep going. Reed, who's been a good player all night. He's got Smith sideways for the bailout kick. That's where he heads. Smith can keep going if he wants to go to Lloyd. He ignores that, so...
One-on-ones everywhere now.
Now he goes to Goods. An explosive lead it was from Adam Goods.
That was the 70-metre lead. Great work, great Goods.
2:22 remaining in the game. Sydney by 5. John Longmire getting the final instructions now because too much more time and they won't be able to arrive in time. So boundary throw in here. Centre wing, neutral ground, 2:16. Sydney by 5. Burgoyne.
So good at that.
Dashes away, he's a great user. 3 bounces, could have gone all the way. Went to Bruce, and Brewster's marked. Sean Burgoyne, superior skill.
He was once, and after that, probably still is the best clearance player in the game. At Port Adelaide, he was known for a period there as the best. And have a look at that. That is unbelievable. At pace.
They call him Silk.
Yeah, well, that was Silk.
And that was neat. Brust to set the G alight. Oh, he's got a little pulley in the ball there. And he misses a goal that he would normally kick.
5-6 the Hawks from set shots tonight. Luke Bruce last year equalled Tony Lockett's record for consecutive goals. What a miss. They're going to have to go again here. Mitchell, was he tackled without it? Comes to Isaac Smith. He'll be able to drive it long. He wants to go short. He shaked the kick horribly. Off his
now they're out everywhere.
The Swans can get free. Kennedy short to Hanbury. Minute 14 remaining.
So now they can milk the clock if they want here, Sydney. Hanbury realising that. Have a look at all the players behind the footy here for Sydney around that centre half-back region. They need to get into usable positions, spread the defenders. Here's Lewis, one last chance, an opportunity for Shields, drives the ball long, rough heads there, Stratton coming in, Gunston as well, an opportunity now for Rioli and Puopolo, and Reed saves the day. 45 seconds, but they've got it where they need it. 45 seconds. Hawthorn down by 4. Segler's down. Get off if you can't play. You're close to the bench. Through traffic. Shields gets it inside 50. Gusman, Rioli almost to an open goal. That may be it. As now.
Hanbury is bursting into space. They're going to be able to hold on to it now, the Swans.
30 seconds.
What a great
30
effort.
seconds. They'll go 2 games clear. Sydney of Hawthorn if they win this one. 2 games clear they'll go. Quarter of a minute remaining. Hanbury, high footy. They've got to be clean from here, Hawthorn. A chance. Shields out the back. Can they go forward in this time? I don't think they can now. Sydney are going to win. Sydney are going to win. John Longmire preparing to enter the arena, and that one there was just a little firm and a little close. And Sydney here tonight, after an electric start, have won, and they move 2 games clear of Hawthorn on the ladder. Sydney by 4 points. Not won 2 in a row. They've gone win-loss, 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 win-loss. And that's been the season for the Hawks so far. Sydney, 3 consecutive wins. They've done that twice this year. And Cameron Ling is out there with Jared McVeigh.
Oh, with a very proud captain. What a win that was.
Yeah, super win. Look, we come out and started really well, which is important. All the build-up and everything like that. So it was important to start well. We knew they were going to come back. They're a good team. And to find out at the end was a really good effort.
It seemed from where we were watching the game, it was an unbelievable intensity, physical, both teams putting pressure on. Is that what it was like out there?
Yeah, look, when you get the footing, you're under the pump, obviously, pretty quickly. You've got to scan pretty quick and get the ball away. But, held strong at the end and, a few nervous moments down there, but we got away with it.
And a nice little move of you going down forward, kicking 2 goals in the last quarter.
I wasn't doing much in the defence, so snuck down there, got a couple, which was nice.
Oh, sensational effort, mate. Go and enjoy. Great game.
Cheers.
Such a modest skipper, Jared McVeigh, isn't he, and such a good player?
Oh, he's an outstanding leader for this club, and that is a great win. They got off to a flyer, and then they had to hold Hawthorn off for 2.5 quarters, and then in the last 15 minutes found a bit of transition and kicked those goals, and they did it without Tippett and Franklin taking a mark. Down to you, Lingy.
I got Dan Hanbury here, and absolutely exhausted Dan Hanbury. You just ran and ran and ran, but that's what it took tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, look, obviously they're an unbelievable team, and we had to, hit back after obviously last grand final, and we stuffed around with it a bit, but it was a tight game, and it was a great win in the end.
It's something that you must generate real belief from, because it looked Hawthorn for all money in that last quarter, the way they were using the ball and kicking goals, but somehow you just found a way to win.
Oh, they're such a dangerous team, and at the end of the day, it just comes down to winning one-on-ones and gutsing it out and having a real crack, and we're able to do that, and it's a great win. It's still really early in the year, but we'll get heaps of confidence out of it.
Did anything of tonight come from the last time you played them? Do you draw on that at all?
Oh, I mean, it's fair dinkum that we didn't have a crack in the grand final, and all we wanted to do was have a crack, win, lose or draw. We just wanted to put in a good performance, and we're able to do that.
You certainly did that, mate. Brilliant game by yourself and by the team. Great job.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Dan Hanbury there was an extraordinary player tonight, Richo. It's still, I love about footy, it's still a game of running, and Dan Hanbury is one of the best at it. He covers the ground. You called it late. His gut running was so important, that man on screen. He was the leading possession gatherer with 36 and ran his heart out tonight.
Stay with us. We're going to have a look at this game after the other side of the break here. The post-match, all of the press conferences, all of the players, all that matters in this game, we're going to rip it to bits. But tonight, it was such an emotional, high-tension contest.